Welcome to Leading the Follower with your host, Rebecca Benston. Good morning and happy Monday to you. I am back. It's me, Rebecca Benston, with Leading the Follower. And I hope you had a very good weekend. I hope you had some time to recharge and, just if you had to do things that you didn't want to do, I hope you've recovered from that. Like maybe this was your weekend to clean the basement or something crazy like that. I had a lot of stuff on my agenda that I wanted to do. I did about half of it. I actually ended up doing some things I hadn't planned to do. Um, got a few things together. Was able to secure some stuff that I'd wanted to get my hands on. I guess I don't even know how to say that without sounding crazy. I'm I'm not what you would call a prepper. However, I do like to plan ahead a little bit. I like to have um, the things that I need just in case. And really, for most of my life, I've not been in a position to ever plan ahead very far. It's always been a matter of am I going to be able to get from paycheck to paycheck? And it's still like that. But certain times of the year, especially around tax time, that's it's not much, but it's a little bit of money that I can use for doing some stuff to prepare us for the year ahead. And there were a few things that I wanted to get, and I found some decent sales on items that I needed, and was able to get all of that set up. So I feel like I accomplished something, even if it wasn't exactly what I set out to accomplish at the beginning of the weekend. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. Sometimes, we plan and we plan and we plan to do things, and I don't know if you're like me, it never fails. If it's something that's extremely important that you start doing, there's always opposition. There's always 15 things that come against you to keep you from doing that one thing that you're trying to do. For example, this morning I had planned that I was going to get up. I was going to go back to the gym. I've been away from the gym for a little while, and I don't like that. I used to go at least every single weekday. I would go and get my walking in and whatever else I could do in the time that I had. But as a motivator, instead of just going later in the day when I would have the most time and spending more time there, I would go ahead and get up and take the time I have in the morning and try to get at least 10 or 15 minutes on the treadmill, and then come back home, work a little while, and then after work go back and do machines or whatever it is that I want to do. This was my plan to kind of ease back into it after a long period away, because what I used to do is when my daughter was in high school and I had all this time in the morning before I had to be at work, after I would drop her off at school, I would go to the gym. I would do, I think, 20 minutes on the treadmill, and then I would spend another 15 or so doing some of the machines or the bike. And I got up to a point where I could do 5 miles on the bike. And I thought that was kind of a big deal for me because I have been out of shape for quite a while. And I I used to actually ride bikes around quite a bit. I would ride around the city all the time before I started driving, and that's of course been a long time ago. But um, it seems like the older I got, the more got in the way, and then by the time I was able to have time to go and get on a bicycle again. It was like I was already out of shape and in pain, and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I made a promise to myself a few years back that I would do that. The more serious I am about what I'm trying to do, it seems like the more of those crazy little interruptions or obstacles present themselves. So, like for instance, this morning, I was planning on going back to the gym, as I said, and I kind of got away from that because I had to stop, and now I have to regroup and probably edit pretty heavily because I don't know what I just said before I had my little sneezing fit. So, isn't this a joyful podcast where you never know what's going to happen? You never know if I'm going to have a coherent thought that continues for more than a couple of minutes, or if I'm going to stop and retrace my steps and possibly say the same thing all over again. I apologize for that, but keeps you guessing, and you can laugh at me if you want. So, anyway, if I didn't have a sense of humor, I don't know what I would do. Um, my plan this morning, I have about, let's see, 40, 45 minutes that I have free in the morning after my daughter leaves for her classes that she's taking and before my work starts, because I get up and get ready while she's doing other things, preparing to leave the house. And then when she leaves, I leave kind of right behind her to go do whatever it is I'm going to do. Today I had this big plan. I was gonna go to the gym with my time. Gym is about six minutes away from where we live, and I had it all planned out. Okay, down to the minute. I know how long it's going to take me to do this stuff. I was going to drive 6 minutes to the gym, go in, take about 15 minutes on the treadmill because I haven't been for a while. So I thought 15 was fairly reasonable before everything starts to hurt and maybe, I'll need to stop anyway. But it's something, and it's a way to get going until I'm able to do more. And so I thought, well, that's better than nothing. Get up, go do it, and maybe it'll give you a little bit of energy that you might not have had otherwise. And it'll be a good way to start your week, good way to start your day, and you'll be ready to go. So of course, last night I did not feel well. I had a hard time sleeping because I felt awful all night. Something I ate didn't agree with me, wasn't a good night for me. And it kind of extended into this morning. And so I wasn't sure that I was even going to be able to leave the house. But I did. I made it. I got in my car and I was like, okay, I don't necessarily want to go to Planet Fitness. Not, nothing against them. It's just not where I'm the most comfortable. I would rather go down to our YMCA where I have a membership there and I have a membership at Planet Fitness for some reason. I haven't been able to figure out which one I want to get rid of. I know I only need one, especially if I'm not going. Um, but I love to go to our YMCA. They have a walking track. They have all the things that I'm used to, and I've spent a lot of time there over the years, and I would really prefer to go there, but it's slightly farther away, and there's nothing around it that I can multitask. My plan had been to maybe pull through and get something to eat and bring it home and eat it, right before I had to jump on for my work call. And it just didn't make sense to go to the gym where there was no access to any food versus the one where it's right by the food. So, um, and I know I could probably do something about that, but I had a thought in my head that this is what I wanted to do today. And, once I have something planned out, that's kind of what I want to do. So, all these little stupid things started to happen this morning. Got up, still didn't feel well from last night. Finally got out the door. Before that, though, I had put on my little my little watch that I wear that has, the heart rate monitor and measures your steps and stuff. And I wanted to be able to um, keep track of things. And for some reason, even though this particular uh, tracker isn't fully functional because they discontinued the program that works with it, but everything had worked on the watch. Um, so I just kept wearing it because I could tell time with it, and I could see how many steps I have. It didn't retain anything from day to day, but I could write it down and keep track if I wanted to. And I could really look and see, have you been doing steps and stuff today or whatever. I just couldn't keep a history of it. So I looked, and after I had charged this thing today, um, it gives me this really weird error message. After all this time, now they discontinued this app last year, so it's been working ever since then. I've charged it a lot, since then. So I don't know why all of a sudden today was the day it decided, no, I'm not going to show you your watch face. I'll show you like your heart rate, your steps, and all that, but you don't need to know what time it is. So my watch stopped functioning, which means I'll probably have to get another one, which I don't want to do. Um, and and so I was a little perturbed about that. And then um, I decided, I'm going to go ahead and go to the Planet Fitness because it's closer, and I can do everything that I want to do in that time. I can take the 6 minute drive. I can do the 15 minute um, walk, and then I can, just hop across the street, go through the drive through real quick, grab my coffee or whatever I'm going to get, and then head home and have like 5 minutes before work. And so I've never been to the Planet Fitness by myself. I usually have my daughter. She's usually with me when I go, but she is at school, obviously. And I wasn't really all that excited about going in by myself. And then it occurred to me on the way there that she's the one who has our padlock and stuff. So I wouldn't have had a way to put my jacket away. I know they have some kind of a community thing that you can do. I think that there's a way that you can put your jacket behind their counter or something. I'm not real sure how that works because we always had the padlock with us and we didn't have to really depend on them for anything. So I never worried about that. But it didn't occur to me that I was just unprepared until I was halfway there. And then I had checked the crowd meter before I left, and it looked non threatening. But when I get to the parking lot, the crowd meter is not an accurate representation of what's going on. I saw lots of people getting there and going in right at the same time, and I'm thinking, you guys probably should have been here earlier because I'm sure you start work before I do. Most people generally go to work at 8:30, I guess, 8 or 8:30. I am, one of the rare people that gets to go and start at 9:30. So I don't meet too many other people whose work schedule starts so late in the day. But so I get there and I'm just like, all right, I'm still not feeling great. I'm still kind of upset that I don't have my watch that is functioning the way I need it to. I don't have a lock so I can put my jacket away. It's too cold to leave the jacket in the car and just walk in my short sleeve t-shirt that I'm wearing. Um, so I had all these stupid little things going against me. And of course, today, it just wasn't the day. It was like, you know, this is just too much today. And to top it off, my daughter wasn't feeling very well when she left either. So I'm assuming something we ate for dinner last night that we both ate um, just wasn't good. And it caused problems for both of us. So I'm worried about her getting to school and everything. And, I want to make sure she's okay. And even though she's grown. She doesn't need me to baby her, but I still worry about her all the time, probably always will. And I thought all these things coming against me. I know what this is. I know that this is the devil's way of keeping me from making the progress I want to make so that I don't make progress in other areas. Because I had talked to myself about it quite a bit over the weekend. I wanted to set a plan so that I could get back to the gym, so that I could be more motivated to get back into decent shape if I can. Now, I'm struggling with that because even when I was going to the gym every day and religiously going to the gym, um, and doing a little bit more each week, like I had it in increments, and I would do this much this week, I would add 5 minutes the next week, and and so on, and try to up the intensity and stuff and do what I needed to do. But I am 51 years old. I'll be 52 in August. I've had lots of issues with keeping my weight under control ever since, gosh, I think probably around my late 20s. I started having a lot of trouble keeping weight off. Now, I got married in 2000, I believe, and I gained about 80 pounds the first year I was married because I was happy, and um, my ex husband now, obviously, we weren't happy forever. Um, he used to cook for me all the time. And, when you're happy and you're comfortable with someone, it's easy to just settle in and just, some people gain weight. And I did. And just never could get back to where I was before I got married. I've struggled with this for the last, well, gosh, 20 years or so. Even when we were married, we tried to work together to exercise and eat right and everything because he had some health issues and he needed to take care of the way he ate and everything. So he would cook and we would try to eat healthy and we would try to exercise. The weight would come off of him, but it would not come off of me. And it was always very frustrating because I was trying very hard. And, years before, when I would get an exercise program going, I could drop 10 or 15 pounds like nothing. It was no big deal. And then I was fine. But then once you gain the kind of weight that I gained, um, I was doing good to lose 10 pounds or, 15 pounds. I think at most I lost 20 pounds once, but I went right back up. And I've been kind of stuck at the same weight, give or take 5 pounds, for the last 15 years or so. I think, well, the lowest that I got was right after the divorce. I think I lost about 20 pounds and kept it off for a while. And then I gained, 20 or 30 pounds later when I was feeling really secure with some things. See, when I'm happy, I get bigger. And so if you see me and I'm large, it means I'm probably kind of happy about something, but I'm not happy about the weight. Um, I used to be a lot smaller. Like I'm probably twice the person that I was when most people knew me, because I don't really go out and socialize much anymore. I don't do much that requires that kind of interaction outside my house because it's just not comfortable for me. And I don't really like the way that I look right now. I don't really like where my body is. And I can say that, I don't feel like I'm hideous or anything. I just don't like what I look like right now because I know that this is not where I'm supposed to be. I just haven't been able to fix it. And it has been over the years one thing or another. And it started, when I was married and we were trying to have a baby, and I had a miscarriage, and I had put on some weight being pregnant, and then I would have a miscarriage, and then I would try to take the weight off, and then I would get pregnant again, and I had miscarried 5 times while I was married. And so it would go just about that way. I would start a program at the gym, I'd get pregnant, and then, I'd lose the baby, and then I would be depressed, and I wouldn't want to work out for a while, and then I would go back and start all over. And, it just happened like that for several years, and it was very, very painful and very difficult emotionally, not to mention the hormones and everything that you're dealing with when you're pregnant. It makes it extremely difficult. So I did that. I think at 35, I told my husband then that, I just could not do it anymore. I have to make a new plan here. I can't continue to get pregnant and lose babies. It's really taken a toll on me. And so we agreed that we weren't going to try anymore. Now, we did have my daughter. She was the second. I was fine until after I had her. And then the postpartum depression set in, and it was a struggle from there on. And then to have those multiple miscarriages after was very, very difficult. And I just never really recovered physically from that. So um, it's just setback after setback after setback, and that kind of thing. So I just find that whenever I am setting out to try and do something that I know is going to be helpful for me, that I know is going to have great benefits for me in one way or another, I'm met with all sorts of opposition. And so looking back at my history and how my weight got to the point where it is, it's very important to me that I get a handle on this as soon as I possibly can. Now, I have gone through many periods of just, giving up on it and being upset with myself for not putting in more effort because I wasn't seeing results. But and I told you all of that about my history and how my weight got to where it is, just to explain, why I have given up on it at several points. Um, but I do want to get back in because I told myself this weekend, I said, look, you know, you have about 6 months before your birthday. You have some time. You can set some milestones here. You can say you'd like to lose this much weight by your birthday, and then the rest of it, the other part of the year. Give it a shot. Do what you can. You know the things that work for you. You know that you've been kind of binging a little bit on some things, and you could just pull back on that and do better with that. That's easy for me if I just set my mind to it. But the logistics of getting to the gym and using the time that I have and the energy that I have to do that, that's been what's a stumbling block for me. So I'm really working toward getting past that because it's not just for the weight. It's because when I'm in the gym and when I go and exercise, even if I'm not seeing significant weight loss, I do feel stronger and I do feel more energy and I feel that I'm doing something productive that will translate into good energy for me and allow me to do the other things that I want to do. When I have more energy and more strength, I am able to focus more clearly on the things that I want to work on. I'm able to do more of what I want to do and I feel like I can tackle more. So the whole benefit overall was that it would start to revitalize my life a little bit and allow me to move to the next level because I'm going to make some some other big changes this year with my publishing business, with my writing, and all the things that I've been working on. I've really been thinking about a lot of strategy and direction that I want to take, um, and I do plan to do it. It's just one of the main things that I need in order to have the energy to do those things is to get the exercise part started. That is a vital part of allowing my mind what it needs. Um, to do the things that I need to do. So, um, and see, the devil knows this because he watches our patterns. He's very nosy, and he wants to know where we're afraid and what causes us to stumble and how he can trip us up so that we don't do what we need to do for ourselves. And he's very, very good at that. And he's done that to me for years. And so I wonder if you look at the things in your life where you have had a goal that you wanted to accomplish, and um, you set a plan, and it took you forever to put that plan into action, and then you run up against some opposition and you drop it and you just walk away from it and don't go back. Has that happened to you? If it has, um, have you considered going back and trying again? Or if you're maybe the type of person who has tried again several times but ran into opposition, whether it's the same or different, you know, have you have you tried several times and run into opposition? Do you still have the desire to do the thing that you were trying to do, even though you know it hasn't worked for you several times? And the thing that you're trying to do, is it something that's good for you? Is it something that you are sure that it's God ordained in your life, and it's not just something you want to do because of something that you've set as your goal, and it's not necessarily part of a plan that God has for you? Because I think that sometimes, I mean, most of the time, those obstacles for things that we really feel that we are called to do, that comes from the devil. But God sets obstacles for us too sometimes to keep us from continuing to do the things that hurt us. Like, sometimes we have this big plan to do something to glorify ourselves, and we think that we're doing something good, or we don't think that it's anything bad, at least. And um and we just keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and God's trying to show us, hey, this is not something you want to do. This is not a path you want to walk down. This one will hurt you. Stop doing this. um and sometimes it takes several times before we'll see that. And then, we'll ignore all of his direction to get us on the right, or on the right path. So we need to be very careful that the things that we're pursuing actually line up with what he wants for us, and make sure that we have a decent connection to God in prayer, and that we are asking him for guidance, and we're asking him for wisdom and discernment as we attempt to do these things. Is exercise the thing that's going to turn my life around so that I can be more effective for God? Yeah, I think it is. I think that it's a huge part of what I need to do to get myself where I need to be. Um, Granted, I keep doing the things that I feel he wants me to do anyway, within the boundaries of what I'm able to do in my current body. Um, but I know I could do better if I had a little more strength and a little more stamina and a little more confidence in the way that I look and feel and everything. I don't want to be an old person right now. I'm older, but I don't want to be someone who can't do things. I don't ever want to be that. I don't ever want to be. Um, I don't want to have an old mentality. Some people have that. Some people, when they reach a certain age, they just decide they're too old for this or too old for that, and they're not going to do anything. I joke about being old, but I don't feel that way. I don't want to be someone who just sits down and lets the grass grow over me. That's not my style. Um, but I will tell you, there are some days when I wonder why I keep trying, because I do have chronic pain, and I do have um, issues that come up from time to time that keep me from being able to move forward And it's very hard not to get caught in the frustration of that and fall into a depression over it. Um, but, prayer has been the thing that has helped me out of every bit of that. And when I've been suffering through something, even when it's a disappointment, when I've decided that I wanted to do something but then couldn't accomplish it, and I was disappointed in myself, prayer has helped me through that many, many times. So I I just I guess the point that I want to make is, if you're running up against opposition in the things that you really, really want to accomplish, ask yourself first, is it God that's keeping me from going down that road? Or is it something the devil doesn't want me to be able to accomplish because it will help further God's purpose for me? Figure that part out first, and then figure out a way that you can try again. Even if you have to write down all of your tries, write down what opposition you faced at each turn, what didn't work, you know, try something else. Did this work? No. Okay, let's try something else. Keep an inventory of your actions and reactions and the outcomes and everything, and just continue to press forward. Look for ways to do it differently. Look for people who are doing the thing that you're trying to do. Um, talk to them. Get into a group of people, like-minded individuals, and find some inspiration among those people, and find the support. Do the research. It is worth the time if it's something that God has put on your heart that you need to do for yourself to get to the next level that He has for you. Do the work. It's not always going to be very smooth to get from point A to point B, but there's something in that you need to learn from and possibly teach others once you have achieved it. So, I failed for years. I've been trying to lose weight for at least 20 years, and I'm not there yet. I know what doesn't work for me. I know that I need to be nicer to myself when I'm doing these things to try and change the way that my life goes, my body feels, and everything. Um, I know what doesn't work, and I know that there are things that I do that definitely impede my progress, and I have to really make the commitment to stop doing those things. I'm a sugary drink type person. I love to drink coffees and um, Sprite, things like that. And I would almost rather do that than eat a lot of the times. So I don't get the right calories. I don't get a lot of the right nutrients some days because I don't have time to eat. So I'll drink. And I'm not drinking alcohol, mind you, but I'm drinking, like, Starbucks coffee or something like that. And that's not the way I need to go. And I know that. And I know where I need to cut back and what I can do to facilitate some of the other things that I need to happen. But it's worth continuing to try, and being honest with yourself about what works and what doesn't work, and just not being afraid to continue to move to the next try and the next try and the next try. Um, and pray and trust God to give you the guidance you need to get to the other side of that. I'll be back on Friday. Um, in the meantime, I just ask you once again, like I always do, to stop by the Higher Ground Books and Media website, take a look at our shop, see what we've got there. Got new releases. There's a pre-order coming up for a lovely little book called I Love You Big by Jennifer Bolton. It's an adorable children's book, and I'm trying to have that one ready for you by Valentine's Day. So, take a look, grab that for your kids, and read that little story to them. It's really cute, really sweet. Jennifer Bolton she has another book in our shop called I Wonder What You'll Look Like, and it is so cute. Um, Grab both of those for Valentine's Day, and give those as gifts to your children, and have a nice story time with them. It's really cute. So, also, let's see, be sure to sign up for that website and the newsletter and everything that I'm working on as well. I will be sending that out very soon. And what else is going on? Let's see. Trying to do a lot of things right now, so I will have some news for you on that as soon as I possibly can get it all together, barring any unforeseen obstacles and challenges that I may face in gathering that. But, like I said, if I don't get it done the first time, the first try, I will be trying again. So, um, have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. And remember, if you're running into obstacles, chances are you're doing the right thing. You need to keep going in the right direction and not let a mistake trip you up to the point that you stop trying if it's truly something that you think God wants you to do. And you know the difference. If you're honest with yourself, you absolutely know the difference between something you want to do just for fun, or maybe for the wrong reasons. Um, you know the difference between that and what God really wants you to do with your life and the path that He's set for you. Even if you're not in constant communication, even if you've avoided a relationship with God for whatever reason, you still know the difference between right and wrong and the things you're supposed to pursue versus the things you're not supposed to pursue. Everybody does. It's whether or not we're honest enough with ourselves to admit that. So, if you're pursuing things that are good for you and that will add value to your life and other people's lives, then, you know, do that. But in the meantime, have an awesome, awesome week, and God bless you. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to check out our website and blog. The blog is at www.leading-the-follower.com. Thanks and God bless.